What makes you cut different?
Cut different.
Cut different.
To cut different. What makes you
cut different?
Cut different. Cut different.
Cut different. Cut different.
cut different?
I'm a cut different.
That's what makes me cut different.
I'm just a cut different nigga.
What makes you
Cut differently. Cut different.
That's what made me cut
What
different.
makes you cut different?
Cut different.
Cut different TV, man, you know.
Cut different here, man. It's cool, man. It's a vibe.
What makes you cut different for real? Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy Sebastian Ryder, and you back again watching another episode of Cut Different TV, and we appreciate you joining us today. Make sure you hit that big red button that says subscribe under whatever screen you watching this on, and hopefully it's a TV screen because you tapped in with Cut Different TV. Man, we got Uzbekistan in the building.
Yeah, you know, that's where my family's from, you know.
Facts.
Child of an immigrant out here in New York, just chasing the dream, just like many other artists. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Man, we got Zoddy in the building, man.
Come on, man.
If you're watching this on the other side of the screen, you know what I'm saying? You might have heard the Time record. You might have heard some other R&B ballads, that like moody R&B vibe. And you might see the clean-cut beard with the frames and the rollie and the Ricks and the swag. Man, it's Zoddy in the building, bro. Thank you for coming through Cut Different, man.
Thank you for having me, man. It's a big pleasure.
Yeah.
For real.
You just did SOBs recently.
Yeah, that was August 8th. We shut it down, had a live performance along with the rest of my band. So it was a big pleasure to be a part of it. You know, showed out, sold the experience, you know, seen a lot of happy faces, and, you know, the job was done.
Hell yeah.
100%.
And that was your first, like, live performance from, well, not live performance, but live band performance. But you've been on tour, and
Yeah.
you've performed in Europe, which is nothing from you because you originate, you know, in overseas. But talk about that process, right? Like, what was the difference between the live performance with the band and without it?
Yeah, I mean, huge difference. First of all, like, even the organizational process behind it takes, you know, it's a big learning curve. Like, you have to make sure and communicate with the venue that the backline equipment is there, for instance. You have to make sure that the band is playing in sync with each other, that there's, you know, what if, like, for instance, one amp is off and now the guitarist just lost his connection? Like, what do you do? Like, it's night and day, you know. One is you're rapping or singing on like a two-track beat, and the DJ just has to hit play. Something fucks up, he just rewinds. This is like live. This is as raw and as organic as it can possibly get, you know? So preparation is definitely way more stressful when it comes to that. You have to actually rehearse.
Right.
You have to book a rehearsal space, either on Pirate Studios or, you know, maybe, or Smash Studios in the city.
Or Cut Different studios.
Or Cut Different, yeah. And you have to be on their ass, you know? Sometimes someone might not show up, you know? You have to keep everything organized and in check, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, so you're dealing with other people now. So,
right.
But at the end of the day, as, you know, how stressful it might sound, I think nothing beats live organic music.
Right.
Like, the experience that you get, the experience that you sell to the people, that crowd is definitely coming back.
Facts.
You're retaining that client, 100%.
Right.
Because now they're not only seeing you, they want to see the guitarist, they want to see the drummer, they want to see the bass player, they want to see the keys player.
Right.
Like, there's more reason and more incentive for them to go, stand outside, wait in line, purchase your ticket, and be sold on the experience.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm definitely trying to pivot way more into. You know, you see any show that I do, most shows that I do, I'm definitely gonna try my best to roll with a band.
Right.
Moving forward.
That's pain.
Yeah.
And I know firsthand, we got a couple records together, you know, somewhere in the archive, you feel me? And we did a live performance and shit.
Yeah. Actually, you know, that was one of the factors that actually definitely inspired me to take it seriously.
Word.
Because the music sounded different.
Right.
You
right.
know?
And walking in there and having to, I mean, you play around with production and you're a sonic guy as well. So walking in and essentially having to walk into their energy. It's like they have to be, everybody has to gel and be, and understand what the vibe is. And it's a different environment. But firsthand working with you, I know that another thing that you take very seriously is lyrics and storytelling. Like, when you're writing a record, I think when I listen to your music, whether it be unreleased or music that's out, the first thing I hear is, damn, like, Zoddy's actually telling a story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So talk about the importance of lyrics and talk about your pen as well. Like, where did that come from?
I think it just comes from honesty and experience and you navigating through life and just eloquently projecting those experiences, whether it's happy, sad, or, pivotal moments,
Right.
into a concise record, and I would want to describe my music as it's confessional, but at the same time, it's very detached. So it's like the tension between wanting connection, but at the same time refusing to give up that emotional power to anybody. And it's just what I'm going through right now, So that's kind of a reflection of it. Typically happens after, you lose somebody, or a heartbreak. It's that is that empty feeling, and it's an outlet for emotions, right? So it's like, I know a lot of artists. I mean, I can't speak for other artists, but personally for myself, I'm not very comfortable with expressing how I feel in terms of words, or in terms of talking to somebody, or in terms of, like, for instance, like, I'm not the type to go get therapy, And there's no shame for therapy. Some people it might work, other people's it might not work. But for me, like, music is genuinely my outlet. If I go through some shit and I want to feel better about that situation, I have to use that as a scapegoat. So to answer your question, yeah, that's where the words are coming from. That's where the inspiration is coming from. And yeah, that's kind of the theme behind everything that I put out.
I feel that. And what, being an artist, right, and making R&B music and carrying yourself and having the brand that you do, you attract a different type of shorty, And I've been around you a couple times, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, this how Zoddy playing it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So tell me about, where do you get your, talk about the type of women you into, bruh.
Man, I'm into. Yeah.
You like a little bit of flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't have a specific type, but I know what I don't like. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I know what I like, and I kind of stick to that.
I feel that.
Pretty much.
How much of a role have your, like, relationships and situationships and also encounters that maybe didn't even get to any sort of classification? How much does that affect the music?
By a margin. I mean, every song I write is about somebody. And if it's not about somebody, it's a scenario that I created in my head. Say if I'm not seeing anybody, then I'll just, like, I'll create something.
Right.
I'm an artist. I have to, right? But mostly it's about somebody, yeah. I like to be very transparent with my music. I like to keep it honest about what I'm going through, Obviously, we all exaggerate certain lyrics for the sake of making the song pop more, for sure. But at the core foundation, it's pretty honest. It's real. Yeah,
that's good. And balancing that authenticity with, like, these days it's content. It's having an Instagram presence. A personal brand, right? Like, all of these different things that are a huge focus now, which have always been a focus, but it hasn't really been in the artist's or creator's hands as much as it is now. Usually it's been in the label's hands, or it's like gate-kept information by up top. Talk about how seriously you take your brand and how you, translate your message through content.
100%. I mean, your brand is your business. The stronger your brand, the more likely you are to monetize. This is everything. It's not about music. Because if it was always about music, then you could be an artist and just post, I don't know, like white squares or black squares with just your song playing in the background, and it can go viral. And you have no social media, no presence. You don't even show your face. So you have to have a very core understanding of what type of brand you are, of who you represent, right? And how authentic it is to who you are. And this is like a conversation I have with like a lot of like label execs and other like marketers that I speak to, or do like regular coffee chats with. They all ask you this one thing. They're like, what is your brand outside of your music? Who are you as an artist outside of your music? Right? Like, okay, we get it. You sing. Okay, we get it. You rap. Whatever. But are you anything else beyond that? And how are you making that correlation and that link between whatever that is and who you are?
Marketability.
Exactly. Because you can scale and you can turn that into a business.
Right.
Right? It's not just about the music.
Right.
Especially if you don't own your rights, by the way. Because how the fuck are you eating? You know? You have to associate your face, your brand, with whatever you stand with something else. That's why you see a lot of artists, you know, even Action Bronson, for instance. Like, he has a food critique show.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the music.
But he talks about food in his music, too.
Yeah. But it's authentic to him.
It's consistent.
You know, that's something he likes.
Right.
So he took his fans that he made from the music and he gravitated it to a whole different thing.
Right. What's your thing outside of the music?
I haven't really thought that deep, but I really like the fighting industry, for instance. I'm a fan of boxing. I'm a fan of MMA. I'm a fan of UFC. So I could see myself maybe in a few years like associating my brand with a sports agency. Maybe going back home and scouting some young fighters, bringing them to the States, giving them a fair shot, whether it's boxing or UFC or whatever it is. Because, you know, people back home, they fight a lot. It's just what they do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just something I would love to get into.
It's a piece of the culture as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
And it has to be like, don't try to force to like something or get into something just for the sake of making a quick buck. You know, because then it's not gonna look true to you. You have to find other things that you like about yourself or that you have an interest in, and it won't feel like work.
Things
and it
that you
will feel
already
real
do.
to you. Yeah.
Facts.
100%.
Yeah, it's like that same element of like, you know, what would you do for free? You know, like, and then if you would do it for free, okay, cool. How do you make content around that?
Yeah.
How do you make content around your passion for whatever? It's like what these influencers do. It's like, I'm already going to the gym. Why not make content?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, Dre got steak, you know? That's his brand kind of scaling to the gambling industry.
He likes to gamble.
He likes to gamble. Yeah.
I like fragrance. He likes fragrance.
Or
Better World
fragrances.
fragrance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Travis Scott,
yeah. Every single artist that we know today that is successful, that was able to cultivate a fan base, create generational wealth, has thought along those terms.
Hell yeah.
You're an entrepreneur. This is bigger than music.
Hell yeah.
Music is just the surface. It's just the entry. It's just, you know, this is who you are. This is kind of like, it's a packaging, I want to say, you know, behind your brand. This is how it looks like.
Right.
But it has to evolve into something else.
Right. And your mind is focused on that. And ever since we first met, I've known through our conversations that that's the way that you approach it. And I feel like that's something that definitely sets you apart as an artist, 100%, because sometimes it's easy to just get lost in the music, especially as an independent artist when, you've been growing tremendously and rapidly and targeting that niche. But sometimes if you don't see that growth, it's easy to get complacent and kind of fall into that cycle and lose sight of what the bigger picture is. But you've always been locked in on that bigger picture, so that's fire.
Yeah, I mean, also a lot of independent artists who are starting out, you just don't know. And I didn't know at some point too. I thought it was just only about the music.
Right.
But it's just not how the industry operates, unfortunately. And if it was about the music, you know what I mean? I'm sure there's somebody out there that can sing way better than Beyonce.
Right.
Why isn't she as famous as Beyonce? Right? Because it's bigger than that.
It's branding.
It's branding. It's just marketing.
So when you talk, I know you had some conversations. You mentioned having conversations with the label execs, but you've had people offer you some deals. You know what I'm saying? And you've had to politely decline.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're in that stage as an artist and somebody's like, I want to invest in you, right? What type of questions are you asking? And if you're watching this right now, like, pay attention, because the things that you say no to in life mean more than the things you say yes to. So I'm curious your perspective. Why are you saying no? Why? What makes a good deal and what makes a bad one?
I think it just has to make sense, right? With any deal, it's just not about. It's not only about like a record deal or a distro deal. Just any deal has to make sense,
right?
Right. And if somebody or the second party that is offering you something has more leverage over you, then they can package whatever shit deal to you how they want to. And if you don't realize that, you're on a leash from that,
right,
from that moment going forward. And, like you said, I did have deals offered to me, but it just didn't make sense. Like we were talking about giving up equity of my back catalog that I financed myself, that I worked hard for myself. All these however many 18, 20 songs that I have fully independently. They wanted, 50% of that. And additional future songs, for an exchange of obviously a marketing budget and an advance. But it just didn't make sense. Because some of these deals, the terms of these deals are just genuinely not fair.
Right.
And then like, what do you do?
Perpetuity.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Right. Big ass words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and this is so funny. Like I spend my own money to get to where I'm at right now. And now you want to, throw some more money at me, but you want to take something that I already paid for.
Right. And something that means more than $1.
Yeah. It's not about the money.
Right.
Okay. You want to give me a deal about future songs that I haven't created yet or I haven't released yet. No problem. That's a different discussion.
Right.
But you want to come back and now capitalize on something that I personally invested in. That does not make sense.
Right.
That means you trying to, put your hand in someone else's pockets now.
Right.
So to any artist out there that's watching this and that hasn't, invested their own personal earnings into their own craft, and you have another corporation that wants to inquire, about collecting that, just make sure it makes sense.
Right.
Make sure you're getting what you deserve from that deal.
Right.
I'm not saying every deal is bad at all. There's some really good deals,
Right.
There's some record labels that really care for an artist, you know what I mean? There's like, it just has to make sense.
Yeah. And there's lightning in a bottle too, right? Like you talk about investing in yourself. You could get lucky as hell, just like you could go to the gas station, buy a lottery ticket and win the lottery. You could drop a song on Instagram and it go viral. But the reality of being an independent artist these days is that you have to learn to play the game, and the game requires bread. The game requires investment. Zoddy, how much have you invested this year alone in your career as an independent artist?
I think
You don't got to be exact.
Yeah, including accounting for production costs, you know, shooting music videos, content, as well as marketing, targeting ads. I want to say around roughly 20 to 30 or for the whole year.
1,000.
Yeah, 20 to 30,000 for sure.
And that's gotten you to where you want to be.
It's gotten me places. Is getting me deals. You know,
And
or
do
offer
you-
deals.
And do you think that if you wouldn't have done that, you would be where you are?
Probably not. We don't know. You know, again, maybe.
Right.
Maybe I would have grown, but maybe I would have grown slower.
Right.
It's no right and wrong. You don't have to spend 15 grand or 20 grand in 1 year. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm just treating this like a business.
Right.
You know, throughout the year, like you're paying for a mixing engineer, you're paying for, you know, a music video, you have a budget, you have a manager that you're probably, you know, either giving up a percentage of your, you know, of your brand to. You know, they're not gonna work for free. People don't work for free in this world. I don't work for free.
Shit.
So that's how it is, you know. So you gotta hustle, you gotta get a job, and you have to any startup, you know what I mean, requires some sort of seed funding.
Right.
And if you're not the one who's funding it, you're gonna have to give up ownership. And I don't want to give up my ownership. And that's why maybe some people might look back after this and be like, oh, okay, well, he invested a lot, you know? So, but then again, here's the thing. Like, a lot of people confuse this. They think like, oh, if I have 100 grand, that means I'm going to become a superstar. If that was the case, then I think Russ talks about it on a podcast. Like, everybody would do it. But that's not, it doesn't necessarily translate as well.
Right.
Like, a lot of things have to be, you know, in place. You have to have a strong core foundation of who you are. You have to be talented first and foremost. You can't have bad music out. That's number one. Your brand values have to be very strong. Like, let's not think about artists for a second. Look at Apple. Look at these corporations. What is their slogan? Like, what are some sort of values that these global companies have? Like, Apple's simplicity, right? Minimalism. They know that that's something that the consumer appreciates and is loyal towards to. And as a result, they're able to scale.
Right.
If you take that mindset and that approach and apply it towards your artistry tomorrow, maybe, yeah, when you do have that kind of budget, it will start, you know, coming back to you.
Right.
But if you're just new to this game, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you know, and you're just outsourcing everything, you're going to get fucked over. You might not even, you might throw 15K, 20K at this shit, and it's just like you're still in the same place.
Right.
Somebody's fucking you over.
I saw
100%.
I saw it's really calculated because, you know, gambling is when the odds are stacked against you, right? And then, you know, the other alternative is just, you know, when you're playing a game, right? Like, you know, say we put on Madden right now, but like, all right, whoever wins this Madden game, you know, $20, $50, $1,000, whatever the case may be, right? We have a 50-50 chance of winning the game. You might be better than me, you feel me? And then you'll win. I might be better than you, but we both have a 50% chance of winning. I was reading this book by Rich Paul. It's called Lucky Me. It's like his like autobiography type shit. And he talks about rolling dice. And he talks about the different ways of rolling dice. If you've ever rolled dice before, it's difficult to be able to call out your numbers, especially when you're playing on different surfaces and whatever. And he's like, bro, if you learn how to hold the dice a certain way, if you learn the strategy of rolling,
odds are in your favor.
You understand the numbers, right? But
Yeah.
motherfuckers come and they just start just throwing the dice up against the wall, and that's just gambling.
Yeah.
The odds are stacked against you. So when you talk about investing,
There's no strategy. You know what I mean?
Learn
Yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah.
You make the right
Yeah.
content. You come in. You figure out what
Yeah.
works. You A/B test certain
Yeah.
shit, and that's what I respect about your mindset, bro.
It also matters with who you work,
Right.
right? Who are you, paying for? What type of people, right? Are you in this together with a team that has the same mindset as you, the
Right.
same core vision as you? You're like, yo, I'm an artist. I need this aesthetic. Are we aligning on what the fuck I'm trying to achieve here?
Right.
Or are you on a whole different frequency?
Right.
Because you might fuck up the whole play. And that has
Unknowingly.
happened. And that has happened.
Right.
That has happened to me. Like, I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Like, you give money to somebody or you give money to a marketer. They're saying, oh, yeah, we'll handle that. We'll do this. They don't do shit, And because this industry particularly has very low barriers of entry.
Right.
So that means there can be a lot of charlatans.
Right.
With that being
Hell
said,
yeah.
everyone is in this.
Explain for the people who don't know what a charlatan is.
Just somebody with probably like
a con man.
a comment. Yeah, like somebody with unethical,
Right.
with an unethical agenda that
Yeah.
will try to, or doesn't even know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
You
like
know?
like confidence with no, like a con
no
man
results.
is
With no
somebody selling
results.
confidence. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Or someone ain't shit.
Everybody that's watching this video right now knows somebody like that.
100%.
It's easy to make a video.
If you're in the music industry, you've been fucked over at least once
Yep.
by somebody, because nothing is regulated.
Right.
It's not a regulate, and I get it. It's the
Right.
art. It's the show business. You know what I mean? So you have to like filter through a lot of bullshit, before you find the right team.
Facts.
And that's when I like, even if you have a certain budget of $20,000, you can't just like, oh, I got 20,000, I'm finna get after it.
Right.
I'm gonna be the next so and so, or I'm gonna grow to this level.
Yep.
Let's not get it confused.
And once you get 20, 30,000, if you never touched 20, 30,000 before, if you spending it, that shit can go. You know what I'm saying? That's not like, what people might think 20, 30,000, that's a shit ton of money, but once you start spending
if
it on
stretch
shit,
it out for a year or a year and a half, it's quite it's quite normal.
it's an investment.
It's an investment. It's not nothing crazy. I mean, you have people running startups getting seed fundings from other investments. They're throwing them, 6 figures, close to $1 million,
Right.
just to spend. So,
And that shit can go quick
you know.
if you put it But anyways, man, it's
Yeah.
a cycle. You know what I'm saying? You invest in one thing. You might lose in some areas, but inevitably, if you do shit the right way, you move the right way with integrity and strategy, you'll get it back. It's all a cycle.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, The Cycle EP from Zoddy.
Yeah.
Zoddy.
Yeah.
Wait, let's clear this up for once and for all. I call you Zoddy.
Yeah.
Is it Zoddy or Zoddy?
No, it's not Zoddy. It's Zoddy.
Zoddy.
Zoddy,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right. I'm like, this whole interview, I'm like, damn, bro. I hope
No,
I'm-
it's cool. The reason why it's Zoddy is because my first name is Shirzad. So I took Zod and just made it Zoddy.
Word.
That's it.
That's tough.
You
And it's
know.
simple. Two
It's simple.
sillies.
Yeah, it's just, it's just
Tell them about The Cycle, man.
Man, so The Cycle, it's just the EP. It's not just the EP. It's the EP. It's going to be 6 songs. And I don't want to call it like a heartbreak tape, but it's a tape that highlights the stage that happens after the heartbreak. So that numbness and that emptiness and that avoidance, you're not hurting anymore, really. You know what I mean? You're past the sad phase. You're past the mourning side of the phase, of letting go and that heartbreak. It's more about like complete detachment. Like you don't feel shit. You might meet someone new tomorrow. They might be the perfect person for you, but unfortunately, you can't love anybody no more. At least for now.
That's the cycle.
And that's the cycle. Yeah, it's about emptiness. It's about numbness. And it's about masking that emptiness with luxury and hedonism. So you're just indulging. Because that's what happens. You know? You just start consuming. You go through some shit. You're not sad anymore. But you're not happy either. You're just numb to it all. And you just start splurging. You just start splurging on shit you don't need. Taking flights, that you shouldn't be taking.
Right. Going
Out past hours that you shouldn't be going out. You're emotionally unavailable. Anybody that you meet, you still crave that kind of connection with them, but you just you don't want to give your commitment to them. Not a healthy take, by the way. Not to brag about it, but
yeah,
but it's honest. That's the thing. It's honest, and we're not perfect.
Hell no.
None of us are. Every single one of us has been through something similar, if you can relate.
Right.
I'm not just trying to sound like a douchebag, when I say
no,
anything.
that's real shit.
But it's real shit. It's something that like, it's not that you don't have feelings. Is that you once at some point felt so much that now you don't want to go back.
It's an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
If I do this, how am I gonna feel if it doesn't?
You don't want to go back.
Right.
You don't want to go back to that shit. You're completely detached. You're not available.
So is there a period in the tape where, because you talk about cycle, you have that numbness, the emptiness, you're masking it with hedonism, indulging in luxury, indulging in shit you might not do otherwise. Do you meet somebody, or does something happen that makes you break
out the cycle?
Do you break out of that? When does that happen?
The breakout of the cycle will probably be future body of works. More, I don't want to give away too much, but like more about healing, more about being a better person. More about finding the real purpose and the real meaning and in life.
But are people still gonna love? Are people still gonna love you? You think when you've broken the cycle and you're happy and you found love again, or are they always gonna want you to be back in that mode of?
You have to evolve, right? You can't just do toxic shit forever in your life. Same way you can't just keep releasing toxic music forever. You have to evolve. The music that you put out is a reflection of what stage of your life you are currently, in. Right. So that's what it is.
So you're in.
I'm in that stage, and it's not forever. Nothing's forever. There's I will evolve into something else, but this is how I'm feeling right now. So I'm gonna make music about how I feel right now. And it's not perfect, and that's my brand. It's just being honest and transparent, and
And there's worse places to be a hedonist and be in that phase than New York. There's definitely worse places. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, man. What's your favorite part about being in the city? Like, what are some of your favorite things to indulge in? Indulge, but shit, be hedonistic.
I've been working a lot, man. I don't know but like, if I do want to go out, like I maybe hit the nightlife, hit some scenes. I like jazz bars, actually. I don't just go to the nightclubs, by the way. Like I do enjoy jazz. I like the Django. The Django's a classic spot. It's at the Roxy Hotel. You can catch a good night. I like comedy shows.
Yep.
And one thing I like about New York is that, like, you can go to a comedy cellar on like a random Tuesday or Monday. You might see a famous comedian.
Right.
Like one time I went and I got to see Chris Rock, for instance.
It's fire.
Dirt cheap. You know what I mean?
It's fire.
$30 and you just Chris Rock showed up. My boys saw Chappelle just like 3 days ago. Just made a guest appearance. And these things are dope. Like, I like New York for that. Aside from all the clubs, I mean, we all know, you know what I mean, where people go out and stuff. But there's more to it, you know. We're healing now, you know.
I like that.
We're going to a different phase.
I like that. Well, man, we're looking forward to the cycle. You know what I'm saying? You got a great body of work thus far and the records that you've already dropped already. Y'all make sure to go check out the cycle. And for somebody that's seeing you for the first time, Zoddy, like, they've learned a lot about you. They learned a lot about how you cope with going through that phase. You know what I'm saying? They're about to find out even more when they listen to the cycle. They've learned a lot about your perspective on branding and mindset and this shit. But one thing that they haven't really learned is, like, what makes you cut different, Zoddy?
Oh, that's the favorite question. You know, I'm not afraid to put emptiness, ego, love, and numbness all in the same sentence. Like, because that's what life feels like sometimes. And I give people the chance to sit in that tension, you know? And most artists just pick one lane. They're like, I'm this. Whereas I live in the contradictions. And that's why people connect with me. Maybe they see a part of themselves in me because I'm not perfect and neither is anybody. And I'm brutally honest. And that's the best way to connect with someone.
That's how the fuck you answer what makes you cut different. Watch that shit back. That is how you answer the question. Appreciate you coming on, Zoddy.
Ah, man, much love, brother.
Welcome to the
100%.
Cut Different family.
100%.
We're gonna continue to keep building, keep growing in our relationship, and we'll be back again. And shit, man. I mean, I would ask you to leave them with something, but you just left them with a hell of a jewel that they're gonna have to listen to a couple times to truly understand.
Some knowledge, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Definitely, brother. Well, shit, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Cut Different TV. Man, we got Zoddy in the building, vibing with us. I go by the name of Sebastian Ryder, and we'll catch y'all next time.